adrenaline pumping. You find that you are on the edge of your seat. It's nail biting. You finish a level and your mouth's dry.
The game's much better looking. It's much more action-packed.
Everything has been totally redone to make it much faster and much better.
It's fast-paced, it's action-packed, it's scary, it's realistic, it's all-out warfare.
Developers at Pivotal Games have been planning for over 2 years their most adventurous and innovative title to date, Conflict Global Storm.
The Conflict series has been going for several years now. It started off with Conflict Desert Storm, which was based roughly around the Gulf War. There was a sequel that followed after that called Conflict Desert Storm 2. Following that, we went to Vietnam.
So we've covered a variety of campaigns, and the new game is counter-terrorism in the modern day.
The latest title in the Conflict series, Global Storm, sees a return to the original characters that we used in the first game, Desert Storm 1 and 2. So those characters will be very familiar to the players of the first 2 games. Although it's a return to the original 4 characters, it's not set in one particular arena. It's set all over the world, on multiple continents. It's a global threat. It's international terrorism, and taking place all over the world.
Some of the places you'll be fighting the terrorists include a chemical weapons plant in the Ukraine, a city in the Philippines, the Colombian jungle, and the Kashmir Mountains.
Conflict Global Storm deals with an international terrorist organisation that is funding other terrorist groups towards its own ends. It's a fairly involved story that sees the players having to deal with a traitor in their organisation, but also a major world-threatening event.
Unless you release Coromandel, we shall carry out an attack on a major western city. You have 1 week to meet our demands.
During Global Storm, one of the characters gets lost during the course of a mission and is replaced with Sherman, who's sort of a new character to the game.
This just gets better and better.
Each of the characters all have different skill sets. All these skills sort of used throughout the game in different areas to progress and get through the game. It's very hard to sort of just use one character. You need to use the skill sets of all of them. We've tried to bring out the characters, what they're like, their personalities and everything else. We've really tried to push that forward with this title.
Someone's tipping them off. Maybe you've got a point. Been a couple of major screw-ups recently.
You guys always this jumping?
Oh, not us. We're natural optimists.
Pretty much every asset in the game is much more detailed now than you'll see in previous titles. So from the look of the game through the AI to how the game plays, you're really going to see that difference.
The game engine for this version of the game has been substantially rewritten. An entirely new animation system, a lot of improvements to the AI.
We've evolved like the render engine, we've optimised it a lot more. This has given us more power in other areas to advance the AI, so we could use sort of the process power from that and actually put it into the AI. AI is the artificial intelligence. Every game has AI, pretty much. It's what basically the player plays against in some form or another.
In gaming terms, it generally means, for us in a squad-based type of game, it means having an intelligent opponent to fight against, and it also means having capable teammates to play with.
All of the enemy are capable in hearing and seeing everything in the game world just as it would in real life. If they come through a door and see you there, they will react, and usually they will make a decision as to whether it's too dangerous to come through that door and whether they need to fall back and get other people. So they're always making assessments about the situation they're in.
They're thinking about how to take you out. They'll also react and respond. They'll be proactive to try and take you out, but when the situation changes, they'll be reactive. They'll suddenly go, oh right, well the situation has changed now. I now have to think, right, I've been hit, right, I need to get away from here. I need to find some more units to actually back me up. And they will go off and they'll find another unit. And if they're attacking, they'll come in with them and attack.
And it looks like the enemy are looking after themselves. It looks like they've got a purpose, and it looks like they're out to get you.
Enemy artificial intelligence reaches new levels of sophistication in Conflict Global Storm. They don't just stand there waiting to be shot. They take cover and try to outflank you. They also use strafing fire, giving the game an incredible level of realism. Meanwhile, your character's armory includes flashbang grenades, designed to suppress an enemy without killing anyone.
It's been important to get the AI right because we want to create a great game. And because we deal with combat games with tactical movement from your troops and from the enemy, that has to be good, and it has to give you a challenge. I mean, one of the great things we have As we have a team-based squad game, we can make the enemy AI a lot more sophisticated and a lot cleverer than in a single-person shooter.
Research is always valid. It's a very important element of getting your facts right, getting it to look real. You know, there's got to be a certain amount of credibility to it. So a lot of time has been spent on looking in proper military books, videos, referencing a lot of material. Internet's also a useful tool for reference.
And we've actually spent time training with real-life soldiers, members of British Special Forces. That's been very useful for us.
Art-wise, we've gone out and we've taken photographs of sort of certain foliage and everything else. So, you know, we go out and we reference the product very tightly. This has made it so that it just feels fantastic. Seeing the enemy move in sort of proper tactics, using strategies to come and get you, you know, using cover, advancing towards you. It just makes it feel so much more challenging. It makes you have to use your other characters.
Taking fire!
On the side effects, if you like, of increasing the enemy's AIs, we've had to pick up the game for your character's AI as well in order to compete. And we've done that by making your characters particularly capable if you just leave them on their own.
Coming through!
They're good at picking up targets, they're good at hearing sounds, they're good at working out generally the best way to lay down fire and the best way to be looking out for the enemy. You'll find that they're very capable.
It's very important to use your four-man squad to its best ability, which means positioning your men in the right places, knowing that all the angles of the rooms that you're attacking, and using real-life tactics to take the enemies down.
What makes Global Storm stand out from other squad-based conflict games is it's much more exciting. There's lots more going on, there's a much wider variety of enemies, there's much more you can do in the game with the characters and the settings. It's just so much bigger.
I think what makes this game stand out in particular from other squad-based games is its accessibility. It's a game that isn't needlessly hardcore or punishing. It's very accessible, it's mainstream, but at the same time it has a great deal of depth and strategy. So that people can go looking for depth and they will find it there, and that gives it a long-term gameplay potential.
The action itself and the tension, yeah, it'll certainly blow the player away.
It's clear with Conflict Global Storm that Pivotal Games have created an original, pioneering, intelligent shooter that takes its genre by storm.